Okay, y'all. It has been confirmed that Nolan's body has been found, y'all. This is his mother. She just updated everybody. I guess the police department reached out to them and they had to view him. So they just confirmed it was him, y'all. And this is so sad to hear. But at the same time, what world are they living in? Let's talk a little bit more about this, y'all. Hello and welcome to my channel. Please like, share, and subscribe if you like this video. And thank you all so much for watching. Thank you, thank you, thank you. To my day ones, twos, threes, and fours, thank you so very much. I appreciate you all and welcome, welcome, welcome. This video is for entertainment and educational purposes only, so everything is alleged, some is not, and the Fair Act use is in my description box, y'all. So let's get to it, y'all. Let's get to it. I put it in the last video that they did find someone, but they hadn't confirmed who it was. Well, they have confirmed it now. The body of the 18-year-old Nolan at Xavier Wells has been found on Horn Island 2 days after going missing. The mother has confirmed everything. Okay, y'all? The mother is also confirming that the wrong information was given to them. They were saying that he had on another pair of color shorts that people was looking for when he had on something else. But either way it go, whatever color shorts that he had on, if he was the only black person there, they was going to know who he was in the first place. Y'all, the family still has the nerve to say he left there with friends. Are they serious? What type of world is this family living in? Like, serious, y'all. How in the world could these guys be his friends when now they're not talking? All of his friends that he left there with, they're saying that they don't know nothing. They can't remember anything, y'all. They can't remember. These people probably have sit at their table and ate at their homes. He didn't probably went to their house and ate and everything. And what kind of friends say they don't remember anything? Huh? Then they keep saying he was with some female, but nobody is saying who the female is. So what is the time now? Lawyer up time, y'all. Everybody's about to lawyer up because they're the ones who took them there. And is this female going to come out? Remember I did the numbers that said thought? Was she a part of the play? Was she the person that lured him out somewhere, off to themselves? Is this how it took place, y'all? I want to know what those autopsy reports are going to show. I truly do. Look at this shitical here, y'all. All of a sudden now, nobody can remember anything. This makes you think about Carmelo. Everybody got the court and everybody turned on him. Even the other black kids that hung out with them, they turned on, they even lied for the white kids so that they could be popular with them too. Little do they know that they might be next. The ones that call themselves testified against Carmelo and help them lie because they had to get those black kids to say something, even though they were a part of the people that came up on Carmelo. But they call themselves proving a point. Oh, their own race said that he started this. Well, they're the McCaff's kids' friends. So, of course, they were going to do that. What you think finna happen now with this one? Is the mother and the father about to be looking stupid, y'all? The daddy looking like Lil Uzi Vert right here. And this is the mom. She's pretty, and I think she's either a doctor or a nurse or something like that. So you already know that there was some jealousy going on. They cannot stand. I keep telling y'all, they can't stand. I have experienced this my own self. They can't stand. If you get a nice car and you in their neighborhood, they look you up and down like, who do you think you are driving a car like that? This is how they look at you. This is how they look at you. And now they're using these kids, y'all. This is what it's looking like now. They're using their kids to line these kids up. We as a people, I know how y'all feel about moving your kids out the hood, but there's so many other dangers in the suburbs than there are in the hood. You take the chance of their own color taking them out in the hood, and then when you go to take them to the suburbs, you take a chance of another race taking them out. So you have to talk to your kids. Sometimes they gonna listen, sometimes they ain't. My son used to listen. He used to. I remember one year, it was New Year's Eve, and his friends came through and they wanted him to go to the city with them. And I was like, what was the purpose of us moving out of the city for you to go back to the city and be hanging out? Especially on a night when they papowing for New Year's Eve. Do that make any sense to you? And my son went in and sit down somewhere. And we celebrated New Year's Eve together and went on about our business. That's how we did that. Now, you can't hardly tell him anything. Can't tell him nothing. He said, and go about his business. And we don't know what type of relationship, Nolan and his parents had. But I'm sure that the mom and the daddy could have told him, no, you can't go. And he wouldn't have went. He's still at home, right? Did they even get the memo of what happened to Carmelo? Or do they feel like it won't happen to them? Is this the attitude that a lot of blacks have living in these really nice areas and they didn't get used to, somebody knocking on the door, saying, where my friend at, calling, did you make it home? All of that up front so that you can let your guards down. Oh, so-and-so just called to make sure you got in from his house. Oh, okay. And they thinking, oh, these is my friends. But do it look like they're their friends now, y'all? All of a sudden, all his so-called friends then had a memory lapse, y'all. They don't remember anything. And this is what they are saying to news outlets, the ones that's reporting it. Because a lot of news outlets not even reporting it. They could care less. It's so many blacks that's coming up dangling. Or something happened to find them in the woods and all of this stuff right now. They can't keep up. Neither do they want to, y'all. They don't. And we as a people got to sit down and talk to our kids, y'all. We have to. Tell them why you can't be around these people. Why you can't do this. Why you can't do that. If you go in this place or you go in that place, make sure people know where you're going and this and that and that and this. And don't let people send you off. Because there's a lot of sending off going on right now. And people running around acting like I'm in love, so I'm going to do whatever this person tells me to do. But that person is putting you in harm's way. So why listen to that person? I'm going to ask y'all a question. If you have a choice of driving somewhere or catching a flight somewhere, which one y'all going to do? Especially if the drive is over 10 hours long. Are you going to go on and catch a flight? So you don't have to, and then you got to go through all of these sundown towns and all of this stuff. Would you take a chance on just going on and fly and then driving? But sometimes you can't tell people nothing. And sometimes when it catch up to these little ones, it's too late. Only thing you can think about is your last words or your mama saying, don't do it, don't go, don't this, don't that, or your daddy. People got to start listening, y'all. It ain't no way he didn't pay attention that he ain't white. It ain't no way he didn't pay attention that, oh, his friends, so-called friends, is white. You don't got no black friends? And you got the nerve to get on a boat and go somewhere. They went to an island where you could not leave unless you had a boat, y'all. That was stupid on his part. And I hate to talk about him because he's gone right now. But if she had, I don't know if he has siblings, but y'all need to put your foot down and talk to him. You do. There's kids that want to come over to play with my little sisters. They want them to come to their house. No, they can't come to your house. You can come over here and play with them. They're not going to your house. No. And I don't care if mama get mad. Well, they can't come over there no more. Well, don't let the doorknob hitch on your way out. Because they will not be going to your home. I don't even like to let them go to other black people's house. Let alone going into another race. There's so much hatred out here. And they hide it. They try to hide it. It's a lot of people call themselves try to hide it. And it still shows, y'all. It still shows. And what people got to realize that the number one thing is when you are dealing with somebody that's hateful, if they're trying to come in between you and your family, that's number one. Okay? Number two, if they put you in harm's way, that's number two. Number three is they act like they don't like your family. They don't like you. They're using you for what they want to use you for the moment. And that's it. That's all. And people need to realize that, y'all. They do. This is so sad. Sit back, watch it. You sit back and watch Carmelo Anthony parents made all kind of money. They said Carmelo was driving expensive cars and all kind of stuff. I think they said he had a Lexus or something like that. This is what he drove. That was one of his gifts. Okay, y'all. Now think about this woman that works at the doctor's office. I don't know if she's a nurse or a doctor, but think about these people working in these places and making big money, and their kids going to colleges and this and that and this, and then their kids thriving in these sports where they're going to be able to be set for life, help their families, pay their bills off and stuff. These people can't stand that shitica. They cannot. And we have to have some sense and talk to our kids, y'all. I know it seems like a lot where you gotta, basically push people away from your door, but you gotta do what you got to do. And yes, they need to go out and spend time with other people and this and that and this. But don't put yourself in a vulnerable position like he did. That was so dumb. And a lot of people are saying that right now. That was the stupidest thing that he could do, to go somewhere for the 4th of July and be the only black face there. On an island where if you got into it with somebody, you can't get in your car and drive home. None of that shitica. You are at these people beck and call. At they beck and call. And it makes you think about Devil's Advocate. Do y'all remember that movie, Devil's Advocate? When they moved out of town or whatever to this place, and the neighbors was coming over talking to her, the wife and stuff, and then one minute their face looked clear, and then the next minute their face was changing, like they was shape shifting and all of that stuff. But they was so sweet at first, and then they was looking like monsters. Is this what happened on that island, y'all? All of these boys that they were hanging out with, did they become strangers when they got there around all of their people and got him there like a fool? Look at all that water all around them, y'all. Do you know how many trips it probably took them to go out in that water and kick it and hang with this guy and make him comfortable to a point where, for the 4th, we're going to go to the island. When probably all actual reality, they had already got what they were going to do to him and everything lined up at that island. Why do they always have to take them somewhere out for to take them out? Ask yourself this question. Why do they always got to do that? And why is it they so trustworthy before you get your child somewhere? And then after that, you don't know this person anymore. And 9 times out of 10, they probably not even going to talk to the parents now. But they was all at her door, all around her doorstep, like vultures. Letting them let their guards down so they can do what they do. And somebody got the nerve to come in my comment section talk about black people is the most prejudiced to this people in the world. No, we not. But it's time for us to have some sense. It's time for us to not keep getting sent off all the time. And if you're in a relationship with somebody that's from another race, not let them run over you and tell you what to do with your own family. If you're going to be a part of the family, fine. But you ain't finna run shitica here. This is how you have to be with some people. And there's people that know, whites and stuff like that be in their family and this and that and this. And some of them is sweet. Some of them is sweet. And when they're not. Because their attitude make them feel like they superior, they better than you. And when you meet somebody of another race and off the top you feel like I'm more important than your whole damn family, There's something wrong with you. And it's time to cut those ties. And if you don't, you on your own when some shitika goes down. As a parent, only thing you can do is tell them. But if they don't listen and they get to a certain age in their 20s and 30s and you ain't listening to shitika and then you find them somewhere stinking, ain't nothing you can do about it if you being hard-headed. We're living in this world just like these teenagers are. And a lot of these teenagers be on their phones. Do y'all think for 1 minute, by them even being in Mississippi, that her son did not know about Carmelo? And then you end up being another Carmelo. Except Carmelo's still alive, but you gone. Make it make sense, y'all. A lot of people is running around right now saying that this was get back for Carmelo. Word on street. This is what people are saying. And there's a lot of that going on. There's a lot of that going on. Bloggers are being harassed by people that's, Austin, supporters. The McCavs supporters. There's a lot of that going on right now. I just throw a block party and I will report you in a minute. I got the feds on speed dial and I will report you when you come over here acting ignorant. But this is the world we're living in and you have to teach your kids some sense. I know you hang around all these white folks, but you still got to tell them. They still don't like us. A lot of them don't. A lot of them are just tired of living in a world that's so unfair in the first place. So they just start taking up for us. And like I said, I salute those. I salute the whites that does stand by us. But there's so many that don't, that can't stand us and pretend like they like us. And some don't even pretend. They want to pull a rank and let you know, oh, I'm superior to you. No, you ain't superior. You just dealing with a dummy for right now. But when that dummy comes to his senses, then he'll see that you ain't shitika either. Just like everybody else in the family see you ain't shitika either. And it is what it is. You can't, as a parent, you cannot let this drive you up the wall and all of that. You have to wash your hands of that. And I know I had people coming in my comment section saying, ain't nothing worse than losing a child and this and that and that and this. Yeah, I can believe that. But at the same time, if your hands is tied and you can't tell them shitika, you can't go crazy and lose your mind because they didn't care about their own life. That they thought that somebody else was so much better than yours and that you going on off about your business and something happened to you. You can't go crazy, especially when you got other family members to take care of. You're going to take care of them and hope that they learn something from the dummy that lost their life. Dealing with people and going somewhere. And this has nothing to do with being prejudiced or nothing like that. If it was all black boys going to an island for the 4th of July, I would also suggest don't do it. If there's any kind of incident happens, and when you dealing with people with street pharmacy stuff, you're dealing with somebody that's drinking, you don't know how they're going to get. It's just like these bars. You go to these bars and then there's a pole session breakout. At least you can go home. At least you can call the police. How you gonna call the police on the island? They got to get a boat and come over there to you. If you get into it with somebody, how you gonna leave? What if the person that brought you over there say, I ain't ready to leave yet? So you have to just go on and just blow off some smoke somewhere, but I ain't about to leave right now. You mean to tell me these two parents right here that have enough of sense to tell their son that's a trap? That's a trap. How can people be so smart book-wise and so dumb street-wise? I just don't understand it, y'all. Now they're hurting. Now they're probably sitting back thinking, I could have did this and I should have did this and I shouldn't have let them did this and I should have paid attention to the Carmelo Anthony stuff. And even if with the Carmelo Anthony situation going on, there are still temperatures rising about that type of stuff. So you got to be careful driving through these little, sundown towns and all of that stuff. You have to be careful, especially with all of this going on right now. And people be like, oh, you can't blame the... Yeah, you can't blame the parents for this. Because if they was drilling in his head, it's okay to have friends, but not follow them everywhere, he wouldn't have never been there. And I wonder, did his mother and father and them do something for the holidays? Because 9 times out of 10, they was off. I looked at her hours at work. That her place of business was closed where she worked at. Why couldn't he spend time with his family? And I wonder, do he have any siblings? That's another thing I wonder. Do he have any siblings? I bet these people were so jealous of her and her family. They're so jealous of him, but at the same time running in his face, making it look like they care about him. Until they got him where they wanted him. Y'all, this is crazy. Let me look it up real quick and see, do he have any siblings, y'all? I need to know that. It's sad to sit back and watch something like this happen and no answers nowhere. All of they posting up stuff. Our hearts ache for Nolan's family. Nolan family should have had more sense than that. And look, y'all, they're saying that he has a sister and he was taken out on his sister Kayla's birthday. What did I just tell y'all about the birthday and the water ritual? I had a feeling somebody's birthday was gonna pop up, but we didn't know who. Okay, we didn't have a clue, and that gotta be even worse a feeling than anything in the world, because now your little sister is grieving. Well, she should have been celebrating her birthday. She's grieving now. And I just was trying to find out, did he have any siblings? And yeah, he pretty much passed away on his little sister's birthday, y'all. Let me read it. Our hearts ache for Nolan's family, and we ask that you keep them in your thoughts and prayers. Below is a message from Nolan's mother. I want to thank our family, friends, community, United Cajun Navy, local law enforcement, and everyone involved for all the love, support, and resources over the last few days. His father, our family, friends, and I are absolutely devastated. I'm heartbroken for my sweet son, who was always willing to cheer and uplift others. Nolan, and this is one of the reasons why they wanted him. They like to have somebody that's sweet and nice and good to other people, because this is what they like to sacrifice to their God, who they think is God, Satan. Okay, y'all, this is crazy. What else she says? Nolan was a special soul. Special soul. God took his time creating our son. I ask that you please give me and my family time to grieve. All they had to do was teach him some sense. That's it. I was hoping and I was praying for them to find him and them to say, oh, they took him somewhere. You know, he had left the island. He didn't come out there with, he left with somebody else because he wanted to go back home or something. Caught a rat with somebody else. I was hoping we were going to hear that, but we didn't, y'all. We didn't. Aiken County Sheriff Office has released the full 911 call and warrants for the parents of Giovanni Harris. Okay, this is another female. This is something else. Okay, that's another story that they're talking about. I'm trying to find out about the little sister. They had it on here, but they're not showing it. somebody says, this is so sad, but I was afraid of this. When we heard that he left a good phone and keys, it was a logical assumption that he'd gone for a swim. And if they had been drinking, see what they already trying to get the alibi ready. As was claimed, that's an invitation for disaster. They're already getting the alibi ready. That, oh, he left his phone and his keys so he could go take a swim and he didn't make it back. Or I told y'all it's going to be that like he did this on his own. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Just sad. This is sad. I'm trying to figure out about the little sister's birthday because they're saying he passed away on his little sister's birthday. This is what they're saying. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Just crazy. Well, they're saying that he was taken, Nolan was K to the ILLED on his sister Kayla's birthday. This is what they are saying. But I can't find it. When you pull up the story, it's not talking about it. But this is what they're saying. That's crazy. That's crazy, y'all. That is crazy. And why would you go for a swim if you've been drinking? Why would you go for a swim? And why would you go for a swim by yourself? You wouldn't put a life jacket on and you sipping? You surrounded by water on an island. All number of water out there. You can easily drift. It doesn't make sense. How can somebody be 18 years old, responsible in every which way, but turn around and be irresponsible on a day that everybody is sipping, drinking, messing with them trees and whatever else that they do? Because, in Mississippi, a lot of people like to, do them P to the I to the LLS's. Okay, y'all? It don't make sense. But it's already looked like they're mapping out right now what they're going to say as far as what happened to them. And it ain't nothing you can do about it but post about, the update and this and that, say prayers to the family and condolences, and hope that they teach the little girls some sense. That just because you got white neighbors doesn't mean you get to go places with them. Don't mean you need to go places with either black kids. I'm just saying, if you don't know them really well and the families. See, it's a different when you grew up in the hood and you grew up with somebody and went to school with them, and you know what I'm saying, and your neighbors and this and that and that and this. But when you move from a certain place and then move out into these suburbs and then your child is blended in with them, you don't know these people like that. And it doesn't matter if they're white, black, Puerto Rican, whatever. If you don't know them, you don't trust them like that. And it is what it is, y'all. Anyway, rest in peace to this young man. And life lost. Gone, y'all. Over. Want to hang out on an island. Okay? You could have went to an island with your family. They got money. All you had to do was doggone it go on vacation with your parents. It's the summer. Why not go on a little vacation with your parents if you want to be on an island like that? At least you trust your mom and their daddy. Y'all, boy, oh boy, oh boy. Anyway, let me get off because this vacuum is going. Please like, share, subscribe if you like the video. And thanks for watching, y'all.